Just close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. I'm going to tell you a story about a little girl about your age. And I want you to try and imagine the things in your mind as I tell you the story. Just take another deep breath. Make yourself as cozy as you can in your space. Imagine in your mind that you look so relaxed, and then do whatever you have to make yourself even more relaxed. And then just take another deep breath. And as you let it go, just completely relax your body, all the way from your head to your toes. I'll tell you this story about this little girl named Darcy. She was one of the cutest little girls in the whole wide world. She was short, with wavy fair hair. It was about the color of yours. She had the sweetest smile you ever saw, except when it came to bedtime. When it came to bedtime, she was just like a grizzly bear. Whenever Mom would put her into her bed, she would scream and scream and scream. In fact, everyone could hear her for miles and miles and miles around. Usually Darcy was fine if the light was left on, or if Mom was going to lay down with her. This was because Darcy was afraid of the dark. Maybe she thought that there were some monsters or some dragons that could come get her. But you and I know that really there is no such things as monsters. And Darcy was safe as she could be, comfy in her own little bed in her room. Now, one particular night, Darcy was getting ready for bed, but little did she know that tonight was going to be very special for her. She would be able to sleep in the dark all by herself all night long. As usual, Darcy had her bedtime bath. She brushed her teeth. With a little help from Mom, she put on some nice, clean, cozy pajamas and got ready for bed. She picked up her favorite stuffy to take to bed with her. But as usual, as soon as she got into bed and the light was about to go out, Darcy started to get upset. Suddenly, a shining bright light appeared in the window. Mummy lifted Darcy out of bed, and they went to the window to see what the bright shining light could be. Then, as fast as it came, the light bounced away from the window and moved deep into the backyard. Mummy said to Darcy, "Come on, let's go and see what that bright shining light is." Darcy put on her fluffy, warm housecoat and went back to her bed to get her stuffy. They ran downstairs and Mummy opened the front door. But it was very dark outside and Darcy didn't want to go. Mummy assured Darcy that everything would be okay and told her to take care of her stuffy and make sure that he was not too scared. As they all held hands and walked out into the backyard, everyone was bathed in a beautiful golden glow, a beautiful starlight that looked glistening and magical. They all held hands and walked into the magical backyard. At first, Darcy was just a teeny bit worried. But quickly all her worries fell away as she looked at the beautiful garden. Dancing around the garden were butterflies that lit up and glowed and showed beautiful colors, with rainbow glittery bellies glistening to show their colorful wings. She saw fluffy bunnies hopping around with a twinkle in their eye and a rainbow of colors that she could step inside of. When she and Teddy stepped into the rainbow, they changed color as well, from red to orange, green to blue, and pink to purple. Pretty flowers with smiley faces that were standing in a row around the garden started to giggle at Darcy and her stuffy. So they did a little flower dance for the flowers. And then the fairies joined in and they all danced together, holding hands as they danced around in a circle, round and around and around in a big spotted toadstool in the middle of the garden that looked like a funny little house. Darcy realized that when it was dark, all sorts of magical things would happen, and a different fairy tale would come to life. Happy green grasshoppers jumped up, doing somersaults in the air. A honeybee drifted lazily from flower to flower. Sweet music was playing in the background, and all the time they were dancing and playing. They could see out of the corner of their eye a glow from a light at the bottom of the garden that was also dancing in tune with them. Darcy was having fun in the garden, but she started to yawn and soon began to feel very sleepy. But before going to bed, she wanted to take her stuffy and see what the light at the bottom of the garden was. Having seen all these wonderful things in the garden that they found the light. It was a magical shooting star. Darcy and Teddy were drawn to the star, and picking it up, Darcy could feel butterflies in her belly, a warm feeling of safety, peace, and comfort as she held that star close in her hand, close to her heart, and returned to the house to go back to bed. And snuggling down under her comforter in her bed, Darcy put the star under her pillow. And every now and again she heard a little giggle from under the pillow. But very soon she drifted off to sleep and was so comfortable and relaxed and was never afraid of the dark again. She slept sound all night, every night in her bed, all by herself, and just felt so good doing it. And you feel so good in your bed, so relaxed, so comfy, just allowing yourself to drift to sleep as I count down. 3, getting sleepier, 2, more asleep, and 1, drifting to sleep, sleeping all night long soundly, just like Darcy and Stuffy, safe in your bed.